when you don't have acne, you have so much more confidence because you may know what you're saying and you may know what to do and whatnot, but people be looking at you like you're incompetent, like you are not fit to be where you are because you have acne, which is wild because acne or no acne, I still know what I know and I'm still gonna do what what I'm gonna do. But society is actually crazy, and this whole beauty politics got us in a chokehold. And I just wish we could free ourselves and release ourselves from that bondage.
Yeah. Back in the O, straight from the eight. I'm walking with God, I don't need a drink. The devil be talking, I don't entertain. I'm walking in faith, I'm sowing my seed. I did it in faith, I gave it to God, and He made it great. Put me in good soil and took out the snakes.
Hey family members, welcome back to our channel. I'm doing a little bit too much with this. Welcome to our channel. My name is Jaël Peace. I make fashion, beauty, lifestyle content, and I be trying to vlog, but you know how that goes. So yeah. So the last time I was like yapping about us not reaching 1K, but I think I have come to just accept it. I don't want it to seem like I'm not grateful for the people that are already here and the people that normally engage and share and like and stuff. I really do appreciate you guys. I just have a goal. So continue to like, comment, share to reach more people. And let's get into today's video because I got the tea. I got the tea. So I am not wearing any makeup today because today we are going to talk about the magic drug. The drug that got my skin from this to this. Let's talk about it because it actually, if you are going to be a hot girl in 2025, I honestly 100% believe that you need this. This is one thing that just really changed my life. So let's talk about it. I struggle with hormonal acne. I've struggled with hormonal acne since I was about 13 years old. And to know me is to know this fact. It's just become like a reality for me. Everybody knows this. When I'm having flare-ups, it's just like one of those things. But my life took a turn in 2023 September when I had the worst flare-up of my life. I'm talking gigantic bumps on my face. Like whatever I was going through, it was not good. It was not good. So before then, I was seeing a dermatologist and I would go in like once every 3 months, but it wasn't for my face. We talked about my face and she told me to use benzoyl peroxide and CeraVe cleanser and then another like CeraVe topical lotion, whatever. But she was just treating it like regular bacterial acne. And I kept trying to tell this lady like, girl, I have hormonal acne, but she just would not hear me. So whenever I would go in for the appointment, I primarily went to get some because I needed to get shots for the keloids under my breast because I had a breast reduction surgery and my skin scars easily. So the scar keloid after about 3 months, and it wasn't like no baby keloids, it was like huge keloids, like they were just sitting under my breast. So I had to go and get them dissolved. I did those shots for about close to a year, and I think I did about 7 to 8 sessions of those shots. So within that time, I was just like, I'm already here, might as well just talk to the dermatologist and figure out the skin situation. So that was my logic. But she obviously was not there to talk about my face because she was just like, oh yeah, I just used some CeraVe, da, da, da. And I was trying to tell this lady like, babe, I've been using CeraVe. Like I've used Nadinola, I've used CeraVe, I've used Neutrogena, I have used almost everything on the market. And I've come to the conclusion that I have hormonal acne because I break out around the beginning of my cycle and it intensifies during my cycle. And I've just noticed all of the signs. Like when hormones are high, my face is like really puffy, my eyes, under my eyes get darker, the acne just becomes more everywhere, like my chest, my back, everywhere. So I did my research, and I don't mean to be that person because I don't have the degree, but I'm just like, I think I know what I'm talking about just based on my own personal experience. But she didn't think so. So I had to suffer through that because she didn't think so. So after a while, I was just done with the whole thing. After I was done with the keloid shots, I was like, I think it's time for me to switch providers and go to a new clinic, find a new dermatologist. And to date, that's probably the best decision that I have made with my life, if not one of the best. Okay. So I switched over to another clinic, and I went to see a dermatologist. I think at the time he just started residency, but he's my guy for real, for real. So he had somebody like, I guess, training him or something like that. I'm not sure because it was like two of them in the room, and I was confused. I'm like, I'm one person. Why I need two people for my face? Like, I'm not. When I went in, I explained to him. It didn't even take him like 5 minutes to tell me, like, babe, you have hormonal acne. These people looked at the acne under my acne under like the microscope or whatever device they have. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. They like took a look at the acne. They did the assessment. They even did like blood work and to figure it out. And after like, I think before the appointment could end, he was like, the next time we meet, I definitely am going to prescribe tretinoin. That's odd. And you could either go the tretinoin spironolactone route, or you could go the Accutane route. Mind you, at that time, my face was so bad that I, for a second, was considering Accutane. I was thinking about it, and with the whole Accutane kind of thing, they're like, oh, you have to go through this program and you have to sign this pledge, like, oh, I'm not gonna have sex, I'm not gonna do this. So I was like, damn, this is like really, really serious. Like, I mean, I don't have to worry about the other stuff, but this is serious. And for the side effects, I read so many different complicated side effects online. I was thinking, like, some lady said that she lost her tooth. Somebody was like, oh, their face was deformed. Some people were talking about their nose like just not being the same shape after they like stopped taking the Accutane. It was a lot. So I made my decision at the next appointment that I would just give tretinoin a try, and we started with the lowest dosage. I don't remember what it was, but it was the lowest dosage. And then we started with 50 milligrams of spironolactone. For the tretinoin, I started off once a week, and I have dry skin. Well, I developed dry skin on tretinoin. These are other pros that I'm talking about now. So which meant that I had to really, really do the sandwich method. What the sandwich method is lotion, tretinoin, lotion. Before you do the lotion, you could do like a serum or just like, gentle stuff for your face, and then lotion, tretinoin lotion. I started off once a week, then twice a week, then 3 times a week, then 4 times, and then now I'm doing it every single night. It has been a year plus, and within 6 months, the acne got worse. My skin was incredibly dry and patchy. I remember around my graduation time when my sister went to do my makeup, my skin was like peeling. As she was putting the products on my face, my skin was like literally peeling. She was like, girl, this is crazy. But that was just like the texture of my skin. My skin was peeling. I literally cannot leave the house without putting lotion on my face. I used to be such an oily girl that sometimes I would just not put anything on my face and I'll be good to go. But I used to not leave the house without putting lotion, and I had to put like 3 to 4 layers of lotion for my skin to look and feel hydrated. after 8 months of tretinoin and spironolactone, I really started to notice a change. Like, for example, my skin started to get much lighter, because when I first started, my skin got darker, and I really didn't know. I was not told by my dermatologist that when you're applying tretinoin that you should really try to stay away from the sun. All he told me was that don't do it during the day, do it during the night. But I just thought that maybe if I wear it during the night, that during the day I could still be out in the sun and all of that. So my skin, like my skin barrier was really damaged for a little bit. So I had to like focus on getting my skin barrier to be healthy again. And after that, I just started to notice that my skin was getting a whole lot better, and I was still having the flare-ups and stuff, but they would come and leave much sooner. So the week before my period, when I start to break out, the week after and the week after that, it would completely disappear. Like, I have some pimples now, a week from now they're gonna be gone. So that is just what I have been dealing with, and honestly, I'm so grateful for this routine because it has changed my life tremendously, and it's just like giving me confidence back, giving me my skin back, and I'm able to just be the person that I used to be before acne, even though it feels like I don't remember her because it was like so many years ago. But when you don't have acne, you have so much more confidence, because you may know what you're saying and you may know what to do and whatnot, but people be looking at you like you're incompetent, like you are not fit to be where you are because you have acne, which is wild. Because acne or no acne, I still know what I know. I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. But society is actually crazy, and this whole beauty politics got us in a chokehold, and I just wish we could free ourselves and release ourselves from that bondage. Let's get into the cons. The cons for me has not been too bad, but one of the cons, like I said before, that just like kind of threw me off a little bit was the dry skin. I was told by my dermatologist, expect that the texture and the moisture level of my skin to change, but I just thought that, oh, it'll just be like a little dryness here. I didn't really think that if I don't put lotion on my face, like it's going to literally break apart. Like I feel like the White Walkers from the Game of Thrones. Like, you know how they be so ashy and dry. That's how I feel when I don't put lotion on. So the first time I saw that, I was panicking. I was like, babe, is this how my skin is gonna be forever? Like, what is happening? So if I stop doing this, is my skin gonna ever go back to normal? That's something that I'm still thinking about. I have my next appointment. We're gonna talk about that. Another con for me when I first started was that my face used to burn. When I had my second appointment after I started the tretinoin, I asked the dermatologist, I'm like, bro, is this thing supposed to be burning? Is it supposed to sting? And he was like, no, it's not supposed to do that. Like, is it because I'm on a higher dosage? Like, should I go back to the regular one? It's like, yeah, let's try going back. So I had to revert back to the previous dosage I was using, and I stayed on that for about a month and a half. And then after a month, I went back to the higher dosage, and then it was fine. So I guess my skin just like needed time to adjust or whatever. But that was one of the cons. And I was on a subreddit, and I read that some people have gone through that and they did the same thing that I did, which is, since I'm talking about like my routine, I also want to mention the spironolactone, because most times they do prescribe the two together. I am currently on 150 milligrams of spironolactone. I started, like I said, on 50 milligrams. And of all the new over-the-counter products that I started and medications that I started, I think the spironolactone has got to be the worst of them. Although it's the worst of them, it works the best. And the reason why I say it's the worst of them is because I've had more cons with the spironolactone, but it works. Like, it does the job. But there is a lot more cons to it. Like, for example, when I first started, my period disappeared for about 2 months. And then when I went to the appointment, I told the dermatologist, he was like, oh, yeah, that's completely normal. It's fine. If you want, we could reduce your dosage. So they reduced the dosage, and baby, that acne came back with vengeance. Vengeance. I was like, nah, I'm just kidding. I went back on the regular dosage. And when I went back on the regular dosage, everything evened out. It was good. The acne stopped coming, but my period came and I was getting it 2 times a month. I kid you not. Sometimes I was spotting in between my periods. So it was like so crazy. After about 10 months, everything regulated. I just woke up one day. I got my period for 7 days in a row. I have not had my period for 7 days in a row since I was 14 years old. And even when I was 14 years old, I used to get my period for like 2 weeks. But that's another story for another day. And then it just stopped. And then the following month, I had it for 5 days. And then 4 days. And then now I'm down to 3 days. My regular, normal 3 days. But before then, it was crazy. So now I'm trying to wean myself off of the spironolactone, and it's hard, which is why you see that, I'm having some breakouts here and there. It's not a bad drug. I was told that it's something that you can be on for a long period of time, but just for my lifestyle and what I, for the body goals that I have, I'm not really wanting to be dependent on the drug. So if there is a way to get rid of the acne without having to take the drug, I would love that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. Then another con I noticed with the spironolactone is that I felt like it was like drawing all the sodium out of my body. I talked about this in my Hormonal Acne Diaries a lot. I felt like I was missing something in my life. I'm eating food and I'm eating food with a lot of salt. A lot of salt. Now, granted, I'm a person that love salt. I love me a good bouillon, Maggi cube, shrimp ball. I love me seasoning and spices. But this was so unusual. I remember one time I don't know what I went to make for my family. I was cooking for them, and I must have put so much Maggi cube in the food that it was not edible. And that's the first time I've ever done anything like that. Like, they were asking me like, girl, you good? Nobody could eat the food, but that was like the best thing for me. I was eating that food like my life depended on it. I was eating it like that's the best thing I've ever made in my life. And everybody, it was so unbearable. So, and I noticed that from like when I would make ramen, I'll do the same thing. Like, I'll put the ramen packet seasoning in the ramen after I've made it, and then I will put like additional salt, additional Maggi cube. Like, I was just eating salt a lot. I just decided one day to Google like, what is this about and how does this tie to spironolactone? So of course I was directed to another subreddit, and a bunch of people on the subreddit were like, yeah, that the same thing is happening to them, because mind you, some people take the spironolactone for, I think, blood pressure or some other thing. But they're like, yeah, they noticed that they always want salt, and they always want like spices and stuff like that. So I just concluded that it's a problem, but it may not be a bad problem to have, because it obviously means that my body is lacking the sodium, which is why I'm taking the sodium in like excessive amounts. So I just had to regulate myself. If I'm eating salty food, I just had to tell myself, like, if you add any more salt, it's not good for you. It may taste like the food is not nice, but it's nice. Something is just wrong with you right now. So I had to like talk to myself and regulate myself in that way. But yeah, that's it. That, I think, conclude my routine and what has cleared up my skin. I'm still trying out new products. I'm getting more into Korean skincare now, but there are just a few favorites that I have. And when I've hit the 6 month mark with those products, I will definitely share the tea. Do let me know in the comments if you struggle with acne. If you don't struggle with acne, if you've always had good skin, girl, I want to hear from you. I'm giving the microphone to you. Let us know how it feels to be God's favorite. Yeah, that about sums up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you guys so much. Bye bye.